right, shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, for the Tough Tiger Talk segment, man. Tigers get a victory here, man. Pretty good victory for the Tigers, man. Handling the business, a much better performance by defense in this matchup, man. Very proud to say that about the Tigers. We was able to do some very positive things in this matchup to come away with the dub, and rightfully so, man. It's been a tough stretch down the series, but we make it happen. So shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being with me with this one. 48-18 is the final for this matchup for LSU, and they climbed to 5-2 on the year, 4-1 in conference play. LSU makes it pop. Jayden Daniels had a really good game, pretty well-rounded game by our LSU Tigers, man. I'm Big Q on the recap for Tough Tiger Talk. Tigers get it done. The real Tigers get it done against the fake Tigers, the Auburn Tigers, man. We get it done in Death Valley. 5-2. How about that? 48-18 shellacking, man. A very solid effort by our team. The first down is 25-18 as we go over the team stats, 6-9 from third down range. The LSU put up 563 total yards versus 293 by Auburn. Passing game, 325 versus 154. LSU ran the ball over 230 rushing yards by LSU. Auburn 139. Today, LSU averaged over 6 yards per carry in the matchup. They had 12 penalties for 100 yards in the matchup, 5 for 42 by Auburn. LSU controlled the ball 34 minutes and 13 seconds versus 25 minutes and 45 seconds by the other Tigers. Very interesting matchup today. LSU was really complete in this game, did a fantastic job of handling the business. And of course, you look at some of the individual statistics. Jayden Daniels, 20 of 27 for 325, 12 yards per throw, 3 touchdowns, and a pick on the tap-up play. But Jayden Daniels was very solid in the game. Logan Diggs continued to cement himself as the key running back on LSU. He had 18 carries for 97 yards, over 5 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Jayden Daniels, 11 scrambles for 93 yards today. Emory Jr. got going, 6 carries for 42 yards in the score. Josh Williams had a couple of carries. He also had a touchdown. So 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns by LSU's offense. That's what we call being pretty balanced. The top receiver threat for LSU in the matchup was Kyron Lacy, 4 catches for 111 yards. He had 1 touchdown, averaged almost 28 yards per catch. Malik Neighbors, 6 catches for 89 yards and a score as well. And those were the top guys in the matchup. Brian Thomas, not a big game for him today. He had 2 catches for 7 yards, but nonetheless, LSU's offense was rolling today. Okay. And then, of course, we look at the other side for Auburn. They just couldn't get right. Switching between 2 guys. Peyton Thorne really didn't get it right. He didn't have any real feel for the Auburn offense. 12 of 23, 102 yards. And LSU defense did a really good job of kind of getting after him and kind of forcing them to be a team that focused entirely on trying to run the ball to create some balance that just wasn't there. Cobb was the top rusher, 10 carries for 69 yards. Thorne he scrambled 5 times for 27 yards. But like I said, nothing shaking from their offense, nothing shaking from the defense. And that's one of these games where you don't really have too much to say because LSU could have cleaned up a few things, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they beat a very confused and not really good Auburn team, 48-18 to improve to 5-2. And we get ready to kind of head in the direction of the Army next. And that's going to be interesting to see what LSU taking on the Army next. And of course, that's the big game before we head into the Alabama matchup, what a lot of people kind of thinking about as we get ready for Alabama. I think in this game, the thing to really kind of focus on for this win today for LSU is the fact that the defense had a way better performance in this matchup. Remember, that was something we always talked about, is that, what happens with LSU's defense, we can really go far if the defense wakes up. And over the last couple of games, you've seen an improvement, especially last game. In the second half of the game, LSU's defense woke up and really did some things that were positive. It carried over into this game. We still allowed them to put 18 points up, but it's still a very positive outing for LSU's defense. Now, next week, we'll transition to this matchup. We'll bring in the Army Black Knights, who are 2-4. You know, they deal with that triple option stuff, and we got to be ready for that. And 2-4, LSU has an opportunity to climb even further in the ranks and get that 6-2 before we head into that bye week, and then wake up out of it against Alabama. 5-2 Tigers, 22 nationally ranked, and we'll be facing off against the Army club next. So Daly's their top quarterback, 6 touchdowns against 4 interceptions, just under 700 yards. Jayden Daniels, I mean, just phenomenal numbers. Almost 20 touchdowns on the year versus just 2 interceptions. Daly's also their top rusher, the quarterback is, and then of course, you know, Diggs is our top rusher. So we're doing a really good job here. And Malik Neighbors is one of the best wide receivers in the country. So they've done a phenomenal job. You can see what the Army offense looks like. Not much going through the air. Of course, we know that 356.4 yards a total offense versus the Tigers 543. They averaged almost 157 through the air, but you know how they get theirs on the rushing attack, almost 200 yards a game. LSU 338 yards throwing the ball down the field. They average on over 211 yards, almost 211 yards a game. From a defensive perspective, the Army is 330.4. They're kind of, you know, stiff on giving up the pass, 164.2. They allow you to hit them for 162.2 on the ground. LSU's defense, 445.7, giving up 285 through the air and 160 on the ground. So hopefully our defense stiffens, and this is the trend as we continue to build forward. We got to do a better job, you know, in terms of kind of getting to these guys, and I'm pretty sure the LSU Tigers will be able to do that against Auburn, and I'm anticipating them to get their 6th win against Auburn, and then we go into a well-deserved bye, and then we come out against Alabama, and we have several weeks after that to kind of finish up the season. So things are rolling pretty good. We get Army Black Knights in Death Valley next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. under the lights. So that'll be another interesting matchup as we get ready to tend to that. But anyway, regardless of that, LSU's done a phenomenal job in this matchup. We was able to take care of the business, beating Auburn pretty good. So we could I guess we could sit back and celebrate today, family, because we got a very good win against an Auburn team that wasn't very good. So this will be interesting. Damon says, got to be ready for the 1-4 Pittsburgh team. Just beat 6. Okay, you talking about another squad. All right. So, but shout out to all the fam, man. Appreciate y'all support on the stream, man. We looking forward to what's going to happen next. LSU will face Army next, and I'm going to be looking forward to that as we get our 6th win, getting ready for the bye week. Then Alabama. That's the big one we all going to pay attention to. So with that being said, family, get ready to get out on that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for this live scoreboard and recap. You know, we'll be back later on next week for more LSU news, notes, and items. So I'm Big Q. I'm going to holler at y'all guys on the flip side. Much love, and go Tigers.